Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to Writing for Screens, the screenwriting step-by-step podcast, episode number 173. 173 hours in which I let you come and watch over my shoulder, share my screen as I write a script in order to teach a part of screenwriting that seems kind of under-taught, which is the actual line-by-line, scene-by-scene writing process. How do you put together scenes, make them part of a flow that you can outline and rewrite? That whole end of it, the doesn't matter what kind of script it is. I'm not trying to show you how to write the greatest script. I'm just trying how to get the ideas and the feelings and the characters and the story into words on a page in script form. So I don't think that this is the best process. It's not the only process, but at least it's, I think, some helpful tools and skills that you can use or not. Take the parts that work for you. You don't have to watch all of these. You don't have to spend 167 hours and get some grand theory. Just saying, watch how I do it in case some of these tricks and skills are useful to you. The way I approach a problem, how I figure out the dialogue or go back to the outline, that kind of stuff. Just here every day from Monday through Friday, if I can make it, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to try and let you walk through it with me in case it is helpful to you when you're looking at a blank page. More important than these, frankly, are the lesson videos, the main sections of my channel called Screenwriting Essentials, Screenwriting Tools and Skills, Screenwriting Process. Take a look at those. Those are little 10-minute lessons where I try and take a topic and give you the most practical, simple, helpful things that I can think of for you to figure out how you are going to work out your way to write, because everybody does it different. There is not a right or wrong way. Okay, hi Marta Latoso. Hi, this is Kitschy. Hey Jean, good to see you all. So what we are doing is rewriting, and I'm just going to dive right in because we're getting past the halfway mark, which is exciting. To take the rough draft, which was very rough, and now we're starting to hit some scenes where the scenes are good, but there's some areas between the scenes that are not good. The main thing is I'm just going through it scene by scene and rewriting it. Now we're hitting a section of scenes that's just a mess. Hello, Butte. Good to see you. So this is interesting. We just had two or three really good scenes with Madeline and Norman, but now ending with them making love in the morning. Then we are fading out, and we are going to go to a sequence where we're cutting between all the different other players, the different people in this online group, and we're going to just get glimpses of them. And what I want it to feel like is that you know that you are seeing little bits and you're supposed to connect them to say this group, although they're spread out all over the country, are part of a team. They're part of a group. And they each have their own little quirks in that. That's the purpose of this sequence. So one of the biggest things is how to make it flow fast enough that we understand the pieces are connected and we don't say, here's a scene. I don't want to do too much intercutting. I think that will be overly elaborate. I think the idea is just to sort of make these moments very brief. Maybe I'll end up intercutting them. I don't know, cutting them into smaller bits and making it kind of a montage. I don't know, but I got to figure it out. Now is the time. So let me just check the outline. I don't believe there's much helpful in the outline here. Okay. All right, so Xena has gone out to okay, we've gotten all this stuff. So I'm going to move this. I put this little so far so good, not little, big, this big so far so good in the outline to tell me where I am, because I really use the outline like a roadmap, a checklist, like what do I have to do? So So I'm just going to read through my notes about this. All right, here's the important stuff. We're going to tie this together with the news that Xena is taking over the podcast. Okay. Okay, so I'm just right now. I'm just trying to clean this up to get a beat. So the point is, this guy who we have seen be violent and yet restrained is coming home to his meth lab. He's a drug dealer with a weird sense of justice. Yes, what I'm going to do is tie these pieces together with this podcast, the new podcast. And what I'm trying to think is it a new podcast, or is it Xena TikToking and doing more immediate and short, brief little bits? Not sure yet. Okay, so now here's the thing. I had wanted to get the sense of justice in here, the idea of justice. Now, truthfully, he has spoken about it before. And so has Norman. So I'm not sure that justice is the most important thing I need to bring up. I'm actually, I'm not entirely sure what it is. Sorry about the gardening machinery outside my door. Hey, Tavana, good to see you. Glad you are here. Nice house. Welcome. This is a new sequence. It's sort of tricky. The point is to suggest that all of the people on the team are listening to Xena head towards the confrontation at George's. That's what we're trying to do. And the question is, how many beats of each person can I get in there? What I'm thinking is, because Dundosky, like in some ways, it's just cool that Dundosky gets out and does yoga in the meth lab. And maybe that's all that there is. An alert on his phone. Xena on her way to announcing she's taking over the podcast. Podcast episode, TikTok, Instagram. I'm not sure yet. I probably should get an actual yoga pose. All right, at least we've got this cleaned up a little. That's not bad. All right. These are just notes to myself, this bold stuff. All right. Seriously, guys? All right. Now, here's the thing. If we go right into a gym, then all we're going to see is McLean in a gym. We won't know it's near Wall Street. This is one of those things. This is actually really important. I don't know if I've... I'm going to actually make a note. Graphic. Let me just introduce one of my favorite and most important concepts. How do we know that? Okay, here's yes, thank you, I agree. I think that that's a fun element. How do we know that? Okay, this is a question you should just ask yourself whenever you're writing something. Okay, how do we know that? Meaning, if I am going to write, hold on, near Wall Street, how could we possibly know that if we're looking at the interior of a gym? Unless there was like a big window out to Wall Street, and I can't be sure that there is such a thing. The question is, if I am trying to establish that McLean works in Wall Street, and I'm not sure that that is important, I mean, important here because we've already seen him at work. So I don't think that that's important. But the main thing is when you type something like a sleek elite place near Wall Street, the big question becomes, how do we know that? How would we possibly understand that if it's not written in a script, but it's actually in a movie? You're just going to see a gym. So think about those things because you write stuff and it becomes a problem because the audience doesn't know a thing that you're trying to communicate. The same Xena. Okay. Forget lost in thought. Don't need to. He's listening. If he's listening, he's listening. He doesn't need to be lost in thought. We don't need all this. I'm not going to have time for all that, so. I'm just cutting words here, cutting words. So yeah, I think that Dundusky, like the point about this is that whatever we thought about these characters in their first introduction scene, back about 20 pages ago, now we are getting another slice of their life, another little insight into them. Okay. Okay, so the point about this scene is that McLean is going to compulsively Sherlock Holmes this guy that he was trying to flirt with. And it freaks the guy out because McLean is really, really... The point we're getting here is that McLean is really, really smart, and that kind of makes him really lonely. Your knee. You have a scar. Arthroscopic. 10 years ago. About 10 years ago. I'm just trying to cut, just because it's maybe 10 years ago. Maybe 10 years ago. You doctor. Scar arthroscopic, maybe 10 your knee. You have a scar arthroscopic, maybe 10 years ago. Are you a doctor? No, research assistant. Investment analyst? Hedge fund. I'm a hedge fund drone. Hedge fund drone. No, I'm a hedge fund drone. No, I'm a hedge fund drone. I just notice things. I saw you at a U of C. Okay, looks. Billy looks. He looks back at seeing a freak or a stalker. Seeing a freak or a stalker or both. Just notice you have a. See, I'm just less words. Sometimes it's just really important if you're going to get people to be clear, if you're going to let them speak clearly, dramatically to the other person, sometimes you have to unclutter the language. All right. No, I'm a hedge fund drone. I just notice things and put them together. You have a UFC sweatshirt. The UFC, the sweatshirt. You have a UFC, yeah. No, I'm a hedge fund drone. I just notice things and put them together. The UFC sweatshirt. The UFC. Do I need this? That's better. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. It's hilarious that right, you can suddenly find yourself spitting terrible game to an imaginary dude. Yeah, that's what happens. You just go in. I truly believe that the thing you need to do is just be in every person. When you're writing that, like as you move line to line, your brain like leaps from person to person. this is gonna... His sweatshirt is in his open gym bag. Only a tiny bit of the logo visible. McLean shrugs. Apologetic. Okay. Okay, it's in his open gym bag. Only a tiny bit of the logo. It's like a habit. Detecting, kind of. Yeah. All right. You ride a bicycle to work, and you don't like to wear a helmet. And you don't like to wear a helmet because you're vain about your hair, which is really nice, but you should wear your helmet. See, that's okay. This is a better scene now. Good. Okay. Earbuds. Xena podcast again. All right. So this is, I got to put in a bit of... He's not really, I mean, he's actually kind of sad and sweet. He's scary, like it's scary, his abilities. He's really, really smart. He's really Sherlock Holmesy. So I don't think he is actually kind of scary. As he puts his earbuds back in. All right. Now this we're just going to cut. We don't do that. Okay. Damn, still 71 pages. I cannot cut this page. All right, of course I did add stuff. Now, do I need the wig? How are we? Okay. I like this scene. Well, sure he does. He doesn't want to be a hedge fund drone. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's his day job. His real specialty is Sherlock Holmesing. Okay. By the way, checks the drips sounds very like I know what I'm talking about. I have no idea if that's what you call it. No, I'm taking a break from all that right now. Oh, why? You liked it so much. That was all I knew you about you. Shirley Holmes, nurse detective. Keeping busy. Some people get too involved. Ooh. Drama, kind of. Well, you're better off. I think so. All that looking up serial killers. That's not nice. What kind of people do that? You should get a nice hobby. Don't need a beat there. Okay. So I like this scene pretty much as it is. Sees the alert from Xena. That's what this is. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Do I need this deep breath stuff? I mean, I'm saying tries to shake off conversation. So therefore, I don't think I... Okay. Okie dokie dokie. All right. Doesn't have to turn and go to. This is the sort of thing, it really makes a big difference. Turns and goes to. Just goes to. Because now we get to the action is going to the box, finding the stuff. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, so we still need, in theory, we need the conspiracy nut. I keep forgetting his name. Let's see. No, that's not right. It's the only one? Okay, well, that's wrong. Nope. I have changed this. This character has changed since I wrote that. I have to, at some point, when you're working on the script, you need to actually go back to your outline and your overview and all your like summaries and make sure that your any changes you made in the script, you update those other documents so that it's all consistent. Where to find Ted, of course. Okay. And Cameron singing at... Right, okay, let's put that one right in now. Okay, I'm adding, gosh darn it, interior. Fancy restaurant at the same time. Cameron is singing to Zena's mom and dad. Right. To add Ted, the conspiracy nut. Now, or do we show Xena watching a video of this as she deplanes? That's a good question. I'll just leave those as issues to be decided later. Feel like working up this podcast. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Whatever I establish here as Zena's way of communicating with people is going to be followed through to the scene where she's breaking into the house and broadcasting it. So the question is that like a Facebook Live kind of thing? Is that a TikTok? Is it part of the is it live or is it that she's just recording it and then we're listening to the playback? Which is more valuable? I think live is sort of not worth it. So the question is, if it's a podcast, it's audio only. And one of the things that I'm trying to do later is to have her like recording or it's both audio and visual because what I'm thinking of is the most important scene for this concept is the scene when she has broken into the house and she's trying to find George's mystery evidence, and she discovers it and is infuriated just as Norman and Madeline come home. That's the key. That's the most important thing that all the other things have to support. It's really useful when you're working on things to say, okay, what's the most valuable use of this location, character, whatever it is. The most important thing of Zena's doing this, whatever it is, podcast or live streaming or whatever, is that it's going to lead her to the discovery of George's lie. So what I'm just thinking about is, do I have a preferred format? Because whatever format that is, and by that I mean, like, do I want her to be like putting her phone, I like the idea that she's setting up her phone and her lights and then performing for it. And so she's sort of capturing live her own bad reaction. But does that need to actually be broadcasting, or could it just be capturing? Is there any importance to that difference? Hi, Chaz. Good to see you. I'm puzzling through a section. Currently, here's another question. Currently, I have Dundowski shooting up a car. The point is, do I want him to actually be like wounding one of his assistants, or is it enough to see him shoot up a car? It might be funny if when he shoots the car, it bursts into flame because he accidentally shot the gas line. So then it would just be like a burning hulk of a yeah, that's what it is. Burned hulk of Marcus's car, which means I have to add in earlier. That'll be fun. Okay, Dundowski. Okay. All right, this is where we'll do it. I keep adding, but sometimes you gotta. Okay. Okay, so Marcus's, what kind of car does Marcus have? Something fancy. Marcus has a, Marcus has a Range Rover, which is parked blocking Dundosky's Corvette. Okay, cool. Okay, so block me in. Holy shit, Marcus. How many times do I have to tell you not to block me in? It's Corvette. Small flames begin to flicker up from under the hood, under the bullet-pocked hood of the Range Rover. Annoyed at himself. Yeah, that's good. Yes, that is a very good point. However, it is outside, so in theory, it will be okay. Well, yeah, but yoga's later. That's the point. The point is that the whole point that we're doing here is we're trying to suggest that Dundosky does all this yoga and justice to overcome the fact that he is a violent, unstable, dangerous person. He's got sides of himself that are warring. That is the idea. Rovers instead of the Range Rover. Okay. Right. So, yeah. See. Oh, he's not Carl. He's Dundosky. Don't call characters more than one thing. Use the same name. If you're going to call him Dundosky, call him Dundosky. Never call him another name. It gets confusing. You think it's two people. Okay. Okay, this is actually better because now he's like, he feels some regret at what he did. And he's just leaving small flames. Uh, yeah. Okay, cool. So now, all right, for the burned, the blackened, burned out hulk of Marcus's Range Rover. There we go. That's funny. I think it's funny. Okay. Van pulls up. Have I had writing much experience writing shorts at all? No, I am terrible at shorts. I've never really watched many shorts, and I don't think shortly. I don't think in shorts. I have a hard time. I mean, I can do it. I've done a couple of short scripts, but it's never connected with me. So I have had almost no experience writing shorts. Um, there we go. Quiet, peaceful. There we go. That's better. Bit frustrating that I'm restricted to writing shorts. Finally finished a rough draft one, which is first for me in terms of not giving up. Excellent. That's the good thing about shorts, is that at least the not giving up test is the end is in sight. That is one reason to do shorts, both in terms of writing and production. It's a manageable challenge. So I think that that's actually great as a student. It's not a bad thing. If you found yourself like, oh, I've been writing, features left and right, and now I'm having a hard time writing a short, that's different. But if you're having problems because you often give up, then shorts are good. They're a lot easier to finish than features. So I would say shorts are a good idea then. All right, okay. Okay, good. So then, what All right, let's think about Xena. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. All right, Xena. The purpose here is she is. All right, Xena's podcast. Let's get into it. I'm just trying to picture. See, the only person that we actually see listening to it or watching it at the moment is McLean, and he could be watching something. I just keep thinking I don't want this to be audio only. I want it, whatever this is, I want it to be the same thing that we have in the attic at the end and towards the end. And Xena is a former wannabe influencer, so more social media, less podcast is not a bad idea. I mean, at least she can be social media-ing about doing the podcast, which I think is what it is, what we're going to be doing here. Over George Roisman's podcast. Title, still don't know. That it, because of his tragic and mysterious death. I'm on my way right now to Pennsylvania to obtain his treasure trove, his records and work so far. Can't be that long. She wouldn't be on Facebook Live. Instagram. Insta story. On his phone. All right, we're getting someplace. Also, I don't watch many shorts, but I feel a lot are reliant on cool things happening. I feel like mine needs more dialogue, but I also don't want it to become a bore. It's not a bore if the dialogue is good, if the scenes are good, if you can get the acting and the dialogue and the drama to work. That's not boring. That's just my opinion. But the other hand, balance it. Do if you're worried about something, try and do something to deal with it, or try and make a strong choice to do something else. That's the main thing. It's like if you're worried about something, if you feel like something's not as good as you want it to be, or it could be a problem, work on it. Do something about it. That is your job as an artist. So my answer would be, make your choice about what you want to make your special effect. If you and I have done this. I did this when I did my movie Disfigured. I deliberately chose to have the special effect be the dialogue and characters. I was like, I'm going to steer this, to emphasize that. The people who don't like that, obviously, they're not going to do it. On the other hand, there's people who don't enjoy explosions, and Marvel movies are not their cup of tea. So the real answer is, find something should be your special effect. Something should be your hook, your cool thing. But it could be dialogue. It could be acting. It could be composition. Whatever it is that you feel you can do is what you should be trying to do. That is my advice on that. All right. I think we're going to stop here. I've started to sketch it out. I'm starting to block out the idea. I still don't know who Ted is or what he's doing. So this is going to be a thing. Yeah. Okay. We'll stop here, I say. Okay. So that is it. Until tomorrow, I will see you then. In the meantime, go write something.